Hey guys, I want to talk a little bit about something that I think is really cool and important and really easy to remember. So I was talking to one of my managers, one of my guys that has been with us since the very beginning, and he said something that I was like, wow, that's so cool. And it was this. He said, man, all I ask my guy when he comes to me with problems is, okay, I get it. You know, he's like, my guys come to me and say, hey, that car, that customer, that customer's this happened and that happened, and and I don't know, and then I had to do this, and just like, all these unique scenarios, like, hey, I had to do the brakes for a discount, and it was hesitant, so I did this. It's like, man, look, I get all that, but all I want to know is, are they happy? That's all I want to know. So I thought about that. I said, man, that is such an easy shortcut to becoming great in any business. Are they happy? Look, you can do whatever you want as long as the customer is happy at the end of the day. So, and that was awesome. That was awesome advice from AJ. And I said that, man, I could do a whole training on just, look, the end goal is the customer walks away with a smile on their face. So you can do all sorts of things, but at the end of the day, the customer is happy. And of course, this is assuming, you're not lying to them and making them happy with something that's not true. But you can do whatever you want as long as the customer, and as long as it's ethical, as long as the customer is happy at the end of the day. So I'm going to give you some pointers on things that will guarantee that you can kind of get happiness. The first one is communication. I've said this 1,000 times now that the number one concern or complaint that customers have about auto shops is they don't call customers, or they don't do it fast enough. The customers have to call the shop to get an update, which is absurd because that's one of the most expensive things that most people own is their car. And it's also one of the things that is extremely required. Most people only have one or two of them, and they are down a car, their whole life comes to a stop. And not giving them an update and then just leaving them in the dark, or just telling them you're going to do something and call them at a certain time and you don't, honestly, that's the biggest sin. And no matter how good of a repair or discount you give them, it will not make up for the lack of communication. Matter of fact, almost every bad review we've ever gotten, almost all of them, 99%, are because we didn't communicate fast enough. We didn't call the customer, we didn't tell them what's going on, we didn't update them, we weren't transparent, we didn't tell them the truth, right? So, and we didn't do it fast. So that's the first thing. The second thing is set expectations, right? So it kind of goes hand in hand with the first one. And that's pretty much telling them up front how the whole process is going to go down, and then keeping up with that. And the third, and by the way, guys, this is not just for the front, although a lot of the front guys are responsible for this, but you guys in the back, man, if you guys don't do your job, and you can have the best guys on the front, but if the back isn't able to inspect the cars right or fast, or diagnose them correctly, or QC them correctly, repair them correctly, you can be really fast with communication, but it will fall apart. The third thing is fix the car right. I mean, that's pretty much what we get paid for. And I know we talk a lot about speed and processes and systems, but the only thing the customer sees when they leave is the car that's fixed, that was broken. So oftentimes, we get lost in the sauce, but we're really, at the end of the day, our job is to fix people's cars. And I'm going to say that it really is three things. One is making sure you get the right concern, which is on the front counter. Verify that concern, make it a clear, it goes back to communication, clear diagnosis or clear symptom. Mike always says, when you hear a noise, where's it coming from, right? It's not just a noise. Say, where, right front, at 30 miles an hour. Be as specific as possible. And Mike always makes a funny joke about when you say, you go to the doctor, you say it's hurting, and he's like, well, it's a big difference between your butt, to put it nicely, or your elbow. Right? You're going to have a different treatment for your butt versus your elbow. So make sure you make it very clear that it's not the butt, that it's the elbow. So we don't treat the butt and then we have a problem in the elbow. So that's on the front counter. The second is, of course, diagnosing the car right, which I think is commonly the most accused issue, that, oh, we didn't fix the car right because we didn't diagnose it right. And that's probably right. But I'm going to say that if the front did their job, usually it makes the technician's job a lot easier with diagnosing. And the third, of course, which is literally the fail-safe, probably the most important process in our shop, is the QC department, right? And the QC guy has to be meticulous. We have to keep good records. We have to make sure everything we check off, write the person's name. That person has to be held accountable for doing the correct QC. So again, guys, number one, communicate. Number two, set expectations. Number three, fix the car right. And number four, when you do screw up, because it's going to happen, You own that immediately, you apologize immediately, and you make it right immediately. I'm telling you right now that every bad review I've ever gotten, if I got back to that customer within the first 30 minutes, it was within 2 hours that review was gone. After 24 hours, you're pretty much done. That review ain't never going away. That customer's never coming back. I mean, I'm telling you, no matter how good you are, however good I am, if I wait over a day, man, that's over. That customer's like, you guys don't give a crap. You already screwed up, and I give you a chance, and you didn't fix it. And the chance is generally about, in my opinion, 12 hours long. If you wait 24, you're pretty much screwed. So, again, guys, that's all it takes. Is the customer happy? That's all I care about. Because I'll tell you this, the average customer will spend $10,000 to $15,000 with you in the next 5-6 years. All you got to do is just not piss them off. All you got to do is just keep them. Don't be transactional. Be relational. Make them happy. People will do business with people they like. So if people like you and you keep them happy, they're going to keep coming back forever. You should have perpetual car count growth. You should be doing 300 cars a week. And the only reason we're not, and we're stuck around that whatever number, is because we're losing customers. We got churn. We're pissing people off. We're upsetting customers. And we're getting lost in the sauce of, oh, we got to make money on this repair. We're not thinking of a big picture that we got to make this customer happy. Even if we don't make the most money on this repair in the short run, in the long run, you will win 100%. Because the customer is going to come back, and they'll always have another broken car for you. Hope that helps, guys. Thank you.